Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name's Alexander.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're back talking about some stuff that I never even thought would have that much to do with health and living.
And I'm sure the Indians have known about this, but us Americans, have we known about a DC dance? I've never heard of it.
Well, one of the things that I'm thinking as I'm listening to Revital talk about this is that I got to guess the people who do this, and I assume it's mostly women in general, right?
In the U.S., it's mostly women.
Right.
In India, there are a lot of men who do it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
But it seems like it's a real healthy exercise, and it's more than an exercise. It's kind of like we talked about, like some of the martial arts types forms. It's a meditation. It's it's an emotional release. It's a physical release.
It's a spiritual practice, and it also connects you to culture. So it has a cultural component to it, and it's a health regimen, as you mentioned. It helps you to ground, connect to the earth, build strength, build your bone density. It helps to prevent a lot of common diseases that do happen for a lot of people when they age, such as Alzheimer and Parkinson's disease. It helps to keep the brain sharp. You know, people say that there's a lot of scientific research that says that we should always continue to study, to learn something, right?
Right.
But I find that if you are always just learn with books, it kind of exhausts your brain and exhausts your eyes. It's also too much sometimes. I think our culture is really focused on learning with our brain. With dance, you get to learn something new, but you get to involve your body.
Right.
So it's much more rejuvenating kind of practice. It's a rejuvenation learning type.
It just sounds so much
activity.
like it. You know, we talk about Shakti and Shiva and the Kundalini and all of this stuff that's really bonding the parts of your body, like similar to acupuncture, right? It's keeping those meridians open so that everything flows like it needs to be. And I have to say, I was a huge skeptic of this probably about 15 years ago, of all this kind of stuff. I grew up, a lot of doctors in my family, we grew up, let's do the two-dimensional thing. Well, you're feeling like this. Well, it must be this. Well, let's see if that fixes. Nope, that's not it. Well, let's feel, okay, that. Now, here's a drug that masks all of it. You feel better, but, what are the side effects? Well, I don't know. I can't remember my name. Well, that's not a real good side effect. Whoops, I'm sorry. I almost pulled your headphone out there.
That's not a good side effect. Well, they say Alzheimer's is diabetes of the brain. So if
wait a minute, diabetes of the brain.
That's basically what they're saying, that Alzheimer's is when the body everything starts to wear out and the receptor sites start to wear out, and it's all about getting enough blood flow and having oxygenated rich blood to keep everything alive in our brain, in our heart, in our cells,
and
in
our
muscles.
Move.
You got to move.
You got to move.
And dance is perfect. And I was talking to you earlier about the Ramayana from Mount Madonna Center, where I went to school in 7th grade, and my yoga teacher, Baba Hari Das, taught us some of the stick fighting and some Kathak dancing.
Yes.
And you said that they hired you to come up and teach for the Ramayana, which is the largest.
What is it called?
Ramayana. It's
Ramayana?
like
Ramayana.
Ramayana.
Yeah.
It's the Indian story about good and evil and how we can overcome it with love. And we have the largest one on the whole United States at the Mount Madonna Center, and they hired you to come up and teach some dance. How did that go? Were you teaching the monkeys how to dance? The kids acting like monkeys.
Who were you? I didn't know there were monkeys up there.
Yes, they're so cute. You have to check out the Ramayana at Mount Madonna Center.
No, I was not teaching the monkeys. I was teaching the, honestly, I don't know what they were. They were like the ensemble of dancers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it went really, really well. They were very receptive, and they were just great kids.
I bet that was wonderful.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So it's great that they got an experience of that at a young age.
It's wonderful.
And so are you teaching, you teach here in Los Gatos, are you teaching younger children?
Right now I actually only teach adults of all ages, young and old and in between.
Yeah.
And I do not teach kids right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Do you teach in corporations? I mean, I remember how we had, I'm not trying to, Remember how Jazzercise was huge?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, why can't a DC dance be?
Wasn't that from Maniac or something? Maniac. Was
Well,
that Jazzercise?
It was Jane Fonda. She led the
I love
movement.
that song.
Well, to be honest with you, this is a more intricate and complex
It's
dance
more
form.
complex,
It's a
yes.
classical dance form.
Yes.
It's just like you would bring ballet into cooperation. It requires a little more dedication.
This is a sophisticated
Yes.
type of dance that
Well,
takes.
because it sounds like your mind, you have to get your mind involved in it, where that was more of an aerobic type of a
Right.
thing.
That
right?
is true too. You have
Right.
it's about cultivating awareness.
So how often do people need to come and for how long to be able to start to really get it? Get the benefits?
I think that people get the benefits right away. A lot of people reported they did get
I
benefits.
know Kat did. She
right
said she
away
loved it.
because they feel the aliveness in their body. They tap into earth energy. They feel connected to themselves. They move parts of the body that they never knew that exist, muscles they never knew that exist. And in the end of a class, they feel accelerated and, in joy and in peace and connected. And also, I've had people come to me with injury, with feet injury, ankle injury, knee injury, hip injuries, shoulder injuries, all sort of injuries. And oftentimes they report that they get better because it frees up the innate healing energy in our body.
Right.
And
breaks up the scar tissue and everything.
So
Yeah.
for that perspective, you get some benefit right away.
Right.
But if you actually want to train as a dancer and be able to go to the full spectrum of what this dance form has to offer and take it all the way to blossoming into presenting it on stage, I want to say that you want to practice at least a couple times a week regularly. You want to come to class once a week, and you want to do it for at least a year in order to go to the full spectrum of everything that it has to offer.
Well, I got to guess you got to get your physical body in shape too to be able to do it.
You would
because
have
it sounds
to be in
like
shape
it's
to do it.
it does have an aerobic aspect, I'm going to guess,
It
and
does, yeah.
that physical muscle building aspect or lengthening, muscle lengthening.
Well,
right?
and you said that they don't use tabla drums, but they use similar.
A similar
That's
drum.
very fast beats.
It is. It's a percussion. We start slow and we build up to speed, but there is a rhythm element. There is a flow element.
It's very complicated.
There's different layers. We do one thing with our feet work, another thing with our hands, another thing with our neck movement, and our rib cage movement, and our eye movement. So there's different layers of movement that all need to be coordinated and put together.
Wow.
So it's very
This is
systematic.
so
We
wonderful.
go step by step. Everybody can do it. And I'm actually really passionate about teaching people who are not necessarily coming from the dance world because I can see them transforming in front of my eyes. And it's just such a beautiful thing to usher somebody into a practice of dance who has not had it in their life. And a lot of people, I think a lot of people in our modern culture have a sense of, oh, I don't have a rhythm, or I don't know how to dance.
Right.
And I say, if you can work, you can dance. You can dance even if you cannot
I
work.
think you're right. I think, though, that's a belief system a lot of people have.
It is.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
and you do see some people that just can't dance. But I think it's probably because they've believed they always couldn't.
They
and
believe they can't.
I know somebody out there is probably going, yeah, well, I really can't dance. Well, that's because you believe it, you know?
Just-
what the mind can
yeah.
conceive and believe, it achieves. And if you
Exactly.
believe you can't do it, hey, guess what? You're not going to do it.
And you don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, if it gives you delight, then why not?
Right. Well,
Right.
especially. You know, one of the things
gives you health.
one of the things I wanted to ask real
and
quickly.
a beautiful body.
Yeah. You know,
Why
that's
not?
the best thing about this show. I get surrounded by beautiful women all day. Nothing against, I love my beautiful wife, Gretchen, because she's gorgeous too. But you know what? The energy that these people have, if you're in the studio, it's awesome. It really is.
We have an amazing guest here
So
today.
so
She's-
let's just
this
show
is
a couple of the things you have here. Why don't you hold them up and tell them real quick, because we
Sure.
only have about a minute left.
Okay.
Just right in front of that
Right
camera
here.
there.
Okay, this is the book that I co-wrote with my husband, Carroll. It has over 250 hand gestures explain the healing, spiritual, and expressive quality of these hand gestures, how you can use it to heal a host of different issues, as well as cultivate yourself
Right.
as a human being.
yes.
Okay.
And what is your website?
My website is shaktibhakti.com.
And they can
That's
get
an SH with a BH before it, right?
ShaktiBhakti.com. And
SHAKTI.
People can buy these products on your website or on Amazon, correct?
Correct.
And so show us.
And this is one of my DVDs. It's called Temple Goddess Workout. It has one routine that is a yogic routine. It's a yoga routine for cooling down and stretching out after a dance practice, and 2 routines that are yoga dance.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got
love
3 of those videos. Why don't you show us the
those?
cards you have here?
Yeah, we have 2 sets of cards that are created. One is for yoga mudras that are more focused on spiritual and healing, and the other is for dance mudras that are helping you to tap into your creative energy and help you express yourself more precisely and deeply.
So amazing to meet you and what you're bringing
this was
to
great.
us.
It was so nice to meet you. You have
Thank
great
you very
energy.
much.
I love
do.
that. I was getting tired before this show, and I'm feeling
And can
good
we
now.
follow you and we'll be able to see when your next shows are?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Just on your website,
Don't
right?
forget to
Yes.
check the KIYS Video Web Radio Network, KIYSradio.com, and check out our Facebook page. Thanks for joining us on Your Healthy Living. My name's Alexander.
Dr. Shasta.
Bye-bye.
Bye.